If you do not like someone's story, write your own. Changing Narratives with Wambui Kabage.
Hi everyone, and so nice to have you back. Today we're going to be talking part 2 of Come We Stay. A lot of the time, a lot of people have told me that the reason they get into a come we stay relationship is actually at times an accidental thing. It's not necessarily deliberate. A couple get to know each other, a couple decide that they want to live together for many reasons. You know, rent is cheaper, life is better, companionship and all these wonderful things. The problem is, as we discussed before, there are implications to making such a decision. One of them is, the reality is, you may be deluding yourself that you have, by virtue of staying for a long period of time, the relationship has now automatically converted, or now you have been presumed married. A lot of people say that. A lot of people talk about the presumption of marriage. So here I'm going to let you know that there is no such thing as a person declaring themselves or person presuming that they are married. This is a legal terminology. And what that means is that you must go to court to prove that you are married. You see, the thing is, in our jurisdiction in Kenya, the length of time of stay is only just but one element of proving that you are going to be under the category of presumption of marriage. The second element is that of general repute. What does that mean? It means that the people around you, your family, the environment, the schools that your children go to, actually view you as husband and wife. That's not guesswork, folks. That's real. For example, there's been case law where proof of such an element is that in the insurance documents, you have put husband and wife. In the school record, in the registering your children in school, you've written husband and wife. In certain documentation that is tangible and can be used as evidence, you've actually stated your husband and wife. Secondly, you've been to so many family functions as husband and wife. And all those people there have always assumed that you're husband and wife. Your relatives know you as husband and wife. Perhaps what you've done is you went through a traditional or customary marriage, or you at some level started the process of the customary marriage but didn't conclude it. And so, according to the village, according to your family, as far as they're concerned, you're husband and wife. That's not enough, folks. You need to produce other evidence. For example, pictorial evidence, pictures of you being together in functions, doing things together, etc. Now, once that evidence has been compiled together with the fact that there's evidence you've lived together for a long time, you have to present that information to a court. The court has to weigh that evidence. Of course, the reason you'd be putting in an application for presumption of marriage, or you'd be filing a suit for presumption of marriage, because somebody's challenging you, right? So expect somebody to challenge all these documents that you've put, right? And even after that, you have to wait for the judgment of the court. Only at the point at which the judge declares that you have been married by presumption is when you can say you are presumed married to that person. So in of itself, that element of come we stay is just but one element. So you need to be very, very careful about how you engage each other and the presumptions that you're creating within your minds. Now, the problem with come we stay is really quite deep, because if, for example, your spouse passes away or your presumed spouse passes away, there are many things that happen. You have invested together. You have done certain things together. The saddest thing that actually can happen to you as a person who believes that this come we stay is more than just that, is that you could totally lose everything. You could lose the house that you presume to be a matrimonial home that you shared together with your presumed spouse, that you shared together with your children. Worse still, you may not even be able to bury this person because you don't have any kind of standing in law, right? And so really you have exposed yourself as an individual, and even rights to that person's estate will be very seriously questioned because there is no documentation, there is no evidence, and there's, like I said, no presumption of marriage. Right? There have been cases where people have been thrown out of homes where they've actually financially contributed, but because there was no one document to prove that they did that, or either a marriage certificate, what could they do? Nothing. Let's add the element of the children, because all of you are saying, oh, but you know, the fact that I have my child is proof that this is something more than just a casual relationship. I'm sorry. So here's the thing. Your children have rights insofar as the Children Act provides, which is the best interest of the children, right? Which means that this person can only support that child in accordance to what is defined as a dependent, right? So let's say, for example, this person passes away, and then you claim that this child is this person's. What if the person is cremated? How do you prove this? How do you prove that this person is actually connected to the child on a DNA level, right? Because at some point, if you're challenging other people in that line of estate, you have to provide documentary proof and evidence, right? And so many issues come to play, and the result is you are compromising your children and their safety, right, in terms of financial security and in terms of physical security. You may be exposing your child to literally being extracted from the home that they've known that is theirs, all because you made an assumption, a presumption that Come We Stay has any kind of legal standing or any kind of legal say in our legal system. I'm here to tell you it doesn't. So enter this relationship at your peril. Right? And don't believe for 1 minute that you're going to have any kind of rights in law purely based on the fact that you're in a Come We Stay relationship. I hope that this has been very clear and that this is something that you're all going to reconsider and think about. So somebody said to me, okay, Wambui, all well and good. You've told me all this, but I'm in a Come We Stay relationship. What do I do? Okay, the answer for me is really simple. Either you decide to leave that relationship because it's not serving you, it's not declaring any status in your life, and is actually putting you at peril financially and in many other ways. Alternatively, you decide because you are committed to each other that you are going to make this a legitimate relationship that is recognized in law. And as I previously spoke about, guys, no longer in Kenya do you need to look at very expensive options at getting married. You can literally go to the civil court, it's the civil way, which would require you to go to Sharia house and just get it solemnized. If you've already gone through a customary marriage, maybe finalize the process, make sure you register, but remember you must register within 90 days of that process. Very simple, folks. Just do that, and then what that does is it secures you, your relationship, and future children or current children that you actually have. I hope this has been beneficial. Like, subscribe, and share.